What's going on, YouTube? It's Mona, encouraging you to maintain faith. Hope everyone's doing well today. I just woke up. I'm redoing this video about sleep paralysis. Spiritual warfare in the form of sleep paralysis. I'm going to give my testimony about this because I believe that it might help other people that could be experiencing this type of spiritual warfare. As I stated, I wrote my experience down. And the reason I did that is because I feel that I blink a lot. I've been reviewing videos or content that I've been creating. And I see that I'm nervous. Which shows up in the form of me blinking a lot. I'm not really a talker or trying to be someone that is in the forefront of people. I see a lot of negative spirits in people in the form of content, throwing shots at each other. And these things are of God. Regardless, God sees everything. Going into the story about the spiritual warfare and sleep paralysis. When I was younger, I used to live with my children's mother. We have 5 children together. And at this particular time, we had 2 boys under 10 and a younger daughter. My eldest daughter at the time. But she was the youngest, the baby. And at this particular time, me and my children's mother were go at it. We had a lot of division, hardships, arguing and fighting and things like that. And I believe it's due to spiritual warfare. Being attacked spiritually, I would experience various types of influences and urges, like fatigue, anxiety, irritability, depression, paranoia, and lust. And when I say lust, I would have a high sex drive, and it was like, but never enough, to the point to where I would, look at porn. I would, be tempted by other women, things like that. It was like spiritual warfare. Spirits trying to create division and set traps. There's a lot of things that was going on during this time. Like we would experience paranormal activity within the apartment. Things would move, toys would move, toys would go off by themselves where you would have to press or activate a toy in order for it to move, and nobody was touching these things, and these things were going off. We had lights flickering. We had uh, fire alarms going off by themselves. We changed the battery, put a new battery in. It still do the same thing. There's no smoke. TVs would turn on by themselves. Things, just various things. And at this time, we began to become more spiritual, trying to seek God in our lives and give our lives to Jesus Christ. And it just created more division. I believe that if you try to do this, but you still are sinning, things will manifest in your life. Spiritual warfare, you will be attacked as these things were happening to us. And I ended up telling my younger sister about the situation of the toys moving and some of the paranormal activity. And she suggested that we sage smudge the house. So I used some sage, burned some sage throughout the apartment, opened all the doors, front door, back door, and all the windows, and proceeded to go through the apartment, smudging, using the sage and saying a prayer through the house to cleanse the apartment. And it was a 2-bedroom apartment. And, for 2 or 3 days, it seemed like everything was cool. Things started to pick back up, amplify, and her and I started to, become more irritated with each other, arguments and fighting. And then one night, her and I get into it, and I'm mad, so I sleep on the couch in the living room. And I remember particularly I was laying on my back. I woke up on my back. And when I woke up, I wasn't able to move at all. I couldn't move any part of my body except my eyes. And when I woke up, I felt like I was falling. I had this overwhelming feeling of falling. And I felt like I was losing energy, like I was dying. So I start to panic. So I'm trying to yell for help, couldn't speak. And I'm looking around frantically, and the living room was dark, and I end up looking towards the front door in the living room. I see a dark shadow in the corner, and I just remember having this overwhelming fear come over me. And I was not able to move my eyes at that point. It was just stuck, and I panicked. And the first thing that came to my mind is I screamed within my mind and my spirit, Jesus. And as soon as I did that, I was released. I was able to move. I sat up, and but when I sat up, I was so tired, fatigued. I had no energy, and I never experienced that. I never experienced that type of fatigue and weakness. And I'm thinking to myself, if this is happening to me, I gotta check on my children. So I run in their room, check on them. They snoring and sleeping. And check on, my family. Everybody in their rooms and everybody snoring. Seem like they're getting the best sleep of their life. So hard to breathe and fatigue. I go back to the living room. All I can do to think is to pray, and get on my knees and pray. I ask Jesus Christ to cleanse the house, to protect my family, because I knew this was a spiritual attack. It's important to know that you can't be on the fence. You're trying to see God and not repenting. You're not repentant of your sins. Things can be weird. You know what I mean? Spiritual warfare is real. The spiritual world is real. And the power of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, is real. They fear him. And at this particular time, I did not know Jesus Christ as Yeshua. I only knew him as Jesus Christ. And when I thought his name, whatever it was, you know what I mean, it was gone. I was able to sit up and move. I didn't feel that eeriness within the apartment. So from then on, I really tried hard to refrain from sinning and give my life to Jesus Christ. I would struggle at times, though. You know, I believe the enemy would try to get you in various ways, like lust, greed, pride. You know, meaning that you got to be right. And you got to have things your way. You know, these spiritual entities will create division or prey on our weakness, whatever that may be. You know, if you need money, if you're lacking certain things, insecurities, you know, and you gotta be mindful. I believe every day is a battle of spiritual warfare, trying to walk in righteousness and fellowship with the Most High and His only begotten Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ. So I felt the need to share this testimony of my experience with spiritual warfare in the form of sleep paralysis.